take the minutes. So why don't everybody start by introducing themselves and who's here, and then we'll take it from there. Okay? I'm gonna step for a minute and I'll be right back.
I'm gonna call Brenda.
Oh, she's not here? Okay. Please call her. We need her. Okay, I am back. Let's see. Let me go to my agenda here. Let's see. Signal talks. We would like to start with the introduction.
Yeah, I'm David Romeo, community member.
All right, and you could pass it to the next person.
Who is next?
Can you send the list of the name?
Hi, I can go next.
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
Okay, hi, my name is Melissa Sever. I live in Prospect Lefferts Gardens, part of the community board, and yeah, happy to be here.
Pleasure to see you, Melissa. It's been a while. How's things been going? Okay, next person. Not having a computer. Let me see who else is here. So if you don't mind, I'll call people's name. Julia already introduced herself. I see Doan Saab. Can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Doyen Saab. I live in Prospect Lovers Garden. I joined the community board in April of this year. Yep.
Oh, so you're the new board member. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Kyrie, I think you're up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I am Kyrie Crown, excuse me. Like the chair, Nicholas, I too have the pleasure to serve as member at large for Community Board 9. So thank you.
And our next person is Molly Tavlin from WCS. Always welcome.
Thank you guys for always welcoming me. I work with WCS, mostly the Prospect Park Zoo. And I just really enjoy being at these meetings and being with all of you. And I work with community engagement for the zoos.
Okay, who's next? Let's see.
I'll go. My name is
Lady.
Naima Wood, and I am a committee member. I've been on this committee for almost a year. It'll be a year sometime this fall. So it's good to see all of you this evening.
Okay. Let's see, what do we have next?
It was March 11th. Okay.
I think we have 10 people. Let's see. I think we are Zlati Moshkin. I am still having problems.
Hi, that's me. I'm also a new board member. Hi. can't figure out how to make my Zoom. talk.
Or
Nice to
You hear
meet
me?
you.
Oh, yeah, now, hi. Yeah, I'm a new board member also. I'm trying out all the different committees to see which one I think is the best fit for me and for my
oh.
capabilities and
Yeah.
whatever, we'll see what
that's-
happens. I don't know when we're appointed to committees, maybe after the summer, but
But the way it's gonna
forward to
be
listening
done, you're
into
gonna
this
give a
one.
request for meeting. This in the summer. Mhm. So, I am really at disadvantage. I can, let me switch another way. Hold on, just one moment, because I cannot get to my, okay, I think, next item in the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Let's see if I can get that. Yeah. Just one moment. Okay, since this internet is not working, let me go to another internet connection.
Should be a button on the. I know, it showed before, but.
Okay. Just bear with me. Okay.
You know, Nicholas, an option is
Yeah.
that we can table it till
Which
September.
one did, for which one?
We can table the approval of the minutes.
Yeah, we could do
and-
that in September.
And then just go
so-
on to the agenda.
Okay. I'm just checking connection here. Okay, we could do that. So just give me a
Can
minute.
can I make a motion for that? Motion to table?
Yeah, yes, you can.
Okay, can I get a
the
second?
Julia
Yes,
made
I
a
would
motion to
second that.
table the approval
Thank
of
you,
the.
David.
So David
Okay, now
approved.
take a vote.
All in favor? You could notify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right, so let's note that, let's put on
All
the
of,
minute-
wait a minute, no, you're not finished voting. All opposed?
No. I'm the come, yes. Anybody opposed, and we gotta get the extension too.
I know.
Okay, anybody in your opposed?
No opposed.
And, any abstention?
No abstention. Motion carries.
Okay, motion carries. So let's move on to the next item in the agenda. If you want with you, I don't have it in front of you. Julia, want to let me know what the next item on the agenda is?
Minutes
Present-
taken, we got that
presentations.
done. And,
Present,
yeah,
Go ahead.
presentations, Department of Cultural Affairs.
Right. Okay, so let me say something about that. The Department of Cultural Affairs are not able to make this meeting. A special meeting has been set up for the 12th. So I would like to invite everyone, if you are able to make it, the link will be sent for that presentation from the Department of Cultural Affairs, because the architect and the people that are the presentation was somewhat, they had a conflict or some other engagement. So a special meeting for them will be set up on the 12th. It's going to be not just a Park Recreation and Culture Committee, it will be a general meeting for whoever would like to attend, be a public meeting to see what they are presenting. They're going to be talking about the Shirley Chisholm Monument coming up in the Prospect Park.
so is it going to be a meeting or is it just going to be a presentation?
It's going to be a meeting specifically for that presentation. They call it a public meeting. That's what I got on the last email.
Okay, because they did a presentation for CB 14.
Probably we're going to be seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
We are part of this, I
Okay,
think CB 14 is on their south and we are somewhat north and east of them. For
yes,
that particular, this particular will cover both community board
Okay, so it
Okay.
is, the presentation will be June 12th,
The
and how are you gonna
12.
get, and how are you
You're gonna
supposed to get the
you're
link?
gonna get a Zoom link. You're gonna get a Zoom
How do
link
you
or
get
like you get for the.
no, how are you gonna get the link?
The link will be on the CB9 website. It's going to be on the CB9 Friday email
Blast?
blast. All right. So all that information will be there. So
Okay,
I'm
got it.
inviting everybody, I'm urging everybody to attend if they can. So all that information will be there. Okay.
The next is the overview of the percent of art program.
Yeah, that was part of their presentation.
Oh, that's part of them. Okay, now we're up
That's
to
part of the
public commentary.
correct. All right. If you like to make add any public commentary, so if you have, we probably do about 10 minutes of public commentary. Everybody's limited at least to about 3 minutes. So if there are there any public commentary?
I have public commentary.
All right, you
Okay,
have the floor.
Okay, my public commentary is, even though Community Board 9 has a moratorium on the 5G towers, our Congressperson Yvette Clarke has deemed fit that she's going to override all of the moratoriums, and it's going to blanket, it's called batch approve all the towers.
All right.
So the towers are coming. She thinks that
The
the
towers-
towers are coming
Okay, well,
no matter what.
No matter
that's my
what.
co-
She's
that's my co-
overriding all the minutes. That's your comment. Okay.
That's my.
Anybody like, or I like to open this first discussion. So if anybody wants to chime in, and we put their feelings and commentary about this particular topic, because people in this community but are very, very opposed to the fact there's no moratorium because they wanted more information.
Hi, I'm newer to this meeting.
Yeah.
Is there a
Mhm.
particular reason why people are opposed to the towers? Is there some kind of concern that we should know
Radiation
about?
and
about?
they're ugly. Radiation and they're ugly. You don't want to raise your
Well-
children around something that's radiation. You don't know how much radiation is coming off those things.
Well,
Nobody knows.
it's about it's the same thing. If I may interrupt, it's the same
I'm
thing.
sorry.
People are concerned about the 5G. This is a discussion that's been in the general public discussing what will be the effect of 5G on the health, and also the way they put in some of those towers. They are blocking certain. I mean, it could be right in front of your window, and they are so tall. So that's some of the concern. The point is that people are not opposed to the towers, but they want to have more information about what could be the effect of them. Because there are many other community boards that are outside the CB9 that are put on moratorium, some in Manhattan, some other part of the other boards. But in this particular, well, I'm glad to, I'm happy, it's not that I'm happy, but I'm saying I'm happy to learn that this Congresswoman has decided to override whatever moratorium. So then now people can petition her to find out why.
Is there any further public commentary?
Are there any further public commentary?
Okay, now we're up to Parks and Cultural Institution
Now,
Liaison.
After conclusion liaison report, I'm just, I finally got my.
Okay, go for it.
I appreciate your help, Julia, pretty much. Okay. Did you get Brenda? Is she here?
She is not.
Oh, she is not. And we didn't get Gloria also. I forgot to call her.
I only
Yeah,
called
but-
Brenda.
It was a little kind of crazy day. I've been out all day. I just watched for this meeting. Okay. Julia,
Yeah.
we have a small task force. That's what I call it.
Oh,
For the
yeah,
garden.
Subcommittee,
Yeah, I'm setting it up for you. And that staff force consists of myself, Julia Bryant, Gloria Briggs, who's a member of this committee, and Brenda
Pagano.
Pagan. So we've been working in some initiatives. So Julia, why don't you help me and let us, you could tell people what we've been doing so far.
So the primary focus for the subcommittee is to create a liaison program for children in the CB9 to have access to community gardens. Turns out that it's not as easy as one would think. Each garden maintains itself individually. So we have to find each garden's representative and ask them how we can help them interact with children. The most successful we have been is Maple Street Garden, where they actually are interested in helping us create a program. Another branch of this subcommittee is to get Brooklyn Botanic Garden to assist us, help us, direct us. They're not as attentive as you would think they would be. So we've been playing telephone catch up with them for months. We met with them once and we've not had a successful conversation with them since. And that is, Nicholas, have I covered all the spots?
So far, yes. Mhm.
Okay, so if you want to add anything else.
Well, I want to add, especially to your last point. At the community fair, the Brooklyn Botanical Garden was there, and I had I had an email conversation with their public affairs
Ethan?
person,
Ethan?
Ethan, yes. And he said, let's meet at the community fair to discuss exactly where we are. And I did that with him. The conclusion he told me they had come with is that the botanical garden do not want to take on another program like the one we were proposing, but they are willing to help for any request for whatever we need they can provide. Once we need it, we could make the request to them and they'll try to provide it. And that was the conclusion of our discussion. But they say they're still interested in assisting, but they don't want to be like a very active participant in the whole project we're trying to build. But they will provide services or whatever. So what is it we want to do? We just got to make a request to them. They will entertain that request and see what they can do. To expand a little bit on this program will trying to connect two schools at Prospect High campus, which is the International High School, and the Base High School, which is one of the high schools that the Botanical Garden was part in founding, and they have a program with them. So that's one. I already visited the principal and the public relation person for the International High School. And we also met with one teacher that had worked with the Union Street Community Garden, and Rosie, and she's very much interested in doing that. In addition to that, there's a school at Erasmus who's interested in beginning a beekeeping program. I've met with them once, and the gentleman, the teacher, was want to do that part of the project at any community garden. He's supposed to come and make a visit with us, but so far he has not confirmed. So we are trying to continue the conversation. So, but he said in terms of setting up the apiary, it'll bring all the necessary structure that would be needed to get beekeeping within Community Board 9, in addition to the curriculum, and probably have some of the students. I think he's teaching a course at that school with that. So this would be one place they could work. So I think
Does he want to have the, I'm scared, sorry, I'm asking a question.
Go ahead.
Did
Mhm.
he want to have the bees at Erasmus High, or does he have some
Let's
other?
have a bees in one of the community gardens.
Okay, he's looking for us to find one for him.
Right, and specifically, I think the Union Street would be the most appropriate one to do it. So, I'm going to continue to keep the conversation going to see what can we achieve for that. Before school end, I'm going to try to reach out to PS 241. And also during the community fair, Cloud Bottom High School was part of had a table at the community fair. We had a conversation. They said send them an email. They'd be interested also in participating. Okay.
Okay,
So this is where we are. We're on terms of the community garden. There was one community garden we had trouble reaching, but last Saturday, I went and attended the opening at Maple Street. While I was there for a while, I was able to meet with a person running the Lincoln Road Community Garden. So I should be having a conversation with him this week. He was very interested in participating in what we are doing. So, and also I want to announce that Maple Street got their $350,000 to get the water. The council person, Rita, just came in and gave them one of those big checks for photo op. So that's one thing that got done this year. So now the process is how to get the money and the water to Maple Street Community Garden. In addition to that, that same day during the fair, I went to Union Street Community Garden, and Eric Foreman was there. And we had a good conversation between him and Gloria and some of the people working in the garden. It looks like, that's why I wish we was here. It looks like that the MTA had promised and had approved to build a big pavilion and as well as providing electricity and water. So this is something that are going to be revisited to see if they can go back, because I think the plan was already approved by the Department of Design and Construction to do it. Then the mayor changed, everything was put on the back burner. So there's an effort to do it. They could revive all the plans that was done before. So there are some good activity that's coming up, working with the community garden that we're going to be able to deal with next for the next fiscal year when we start again in September. So I think that more or less cover what's been happening within the community garden. And I will communicate with you with that in September for the general public. And I'm asking for people on the subcommittee, if they don't mind meeting between now and September.
It's illegal. Nicholas, it's illegal.
No. People can have conversation. I'm not asking for meeting.
Okay.
Conversation. We're not doing meeting. So I could call you on the phone or I meet you on the street. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can't call it a meeting.
Right for it. I'm not calling it a meeting.
Okay.
So if you have a question, yeah. If you have a question, if you have any idea, you could add an email or something like that, because I'm hoping to chair this committee again and to continue the work, because there's a couple more initiatives I want to put through within this committee.
Nicholas, okay. Marley has her hand
right,
up.
Marley has.
Go ahead, Marley. Yeah, because I'm not seeing my screen. Let me go back.
I know, we're here to help you.
Thanks, Nicholas. Sorry, I'm not sure if this is helpful at all, because to be honest, I know they're great for the environment, but I'm a little scared of bees and wasps. But Prospect Park Zoo, we have a partnership with the Bee Conservancy in New York. And so we have a bee. I don't know if that's helpful.
You have an apiary there?
we have like a whole beehive. Like I
Oh,
said,
well,
I
that's what, I was
stayed
not
away
aware.
from
I'm
it.
glad to hear that. But we didn't know there was one in the neighborhood. It's not that simple to put a beehive somewhere. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
no.
regulation and a lot of stuff that is involved. Oh, so when I speak to him, because that was the question he asked me, but I didn't know about it. Thank you, Marty, for that information.
Sure, of course. Yeah, no, when I I started last summer. Yeah, we had it. So there's a partnership with the Bee Conservancy, I guess that might not be the name, in Manhattan, but yeah, we have a whole beehive there at the zoo. So if that's something that would be helpful, please let me.
Right. Oh, no, I think it definitely be helpful because they are looking for places to bring students to learn beekeeping.
Oh yeah.
Great,
Oh,
great.
please, yeah.
Great.
From K to 12. And my discussion with him, this is what we're talking about, because he said he has all the curriculum and everything that happens. So which means a visit to Prospect Park Zoo for beekeeping, this is something I see in the future.
Yeah, email me and then I'll email, I'll make sure
Send
to
me
know
whatever
when
information you have, so we can, yes, please.
Sorry?
Okay, okay, that's great. That's
Yeah, no, we
fantastic.
have a whole beehive, but of course not in the
Okay.
winter.
Also, you have why you call an apiary.
Mhm.
Okay,
Well, like I said,
great.
I'm not the best at
Yes,
it, but
because that, wherever there's an apiary, he has to be registered in case something happens. There's all kind of other stuff that's involved in there that he had informed me.
yes, it's
Because
on our
he said,
Discovery Trail. If you want to come check it out, like I told you, please tell me and I'll
I'm definitely
wave
gonna
you in
come because
anytime.
we were discussing where we will get I forgot what you call it, to buy the starting thing to put the beehive and all the stuff together. Okay, great. Oh, I definitely would want to come and see. Okay,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's one of WCS's main partners is the bee conservant, or the bee people.
The
Right.
bee people.
I'm sorry.
The
I know. I hope my bosses don't see this, but they know I'm not.
Well, all right. Well, everything's gonna be on the YouTube channel. So. All righty. I don't know if any questions because we're gonna move on to the next item, to the next book, which is the report of assessment, visit with Board Commissioner Maher. And David, you want to give us an idea what happened, because you were with me on the other day. You're supposed to join us at 8 o'clock.
On May 31st, we met with Commissioner Maher. We went to several parks, including the Mark and Jason Park, Metz Park, and the Jackie Robinson Park. It was really informative. Me personally, I learned a lot, on how long it takes to get things done. It's painstakingly slow to make changes, to get money through committees, etc., and to change stuff. But it was really informative. The commissioner is very knowledgeable of all the projects. He seems to be a hands-on guy, knows, instinctively what is going on with each project, and he's really up to date and stuff. So it was really informative. I think he's a good ally, a good asset that the committee has. He offers his help, and he says he has an open door. Nicholas, has his phone number and also his chief of staff. He also had the young lady who is responsible for the parks, the maintenance of the parks. She was along with us. So, if you had
That's Miss
individual questions.
Miss Mormon, Jessica Mormon.
Miss Mormon, right, Alexandra Mormon. And, so we had a phone numbers, contact information for her. So I find it was fruitful. I hope to see it progress and, you know, we could get things done. You know, it was really enjoyable. I learned a lot, you know, but you know, for me, is results. You know, so let's see if we can get, you know, what we want to get done. Anything you want to add, Nicholas?
Yes, I want to add that you and David have developed a park audit instrument where we rate what we saw in the condition of the park. And I have not
Right.
been able to get my computer online. I wanted to share that with you. We're going to be issuing a report on the park we saw, and we will give you a grade and also our commentary. Because what we did before with the commissioner, the three of us visited what, 5 or 6 parks before?
Right. The
And
Saturday before. Mhm.
the Saturday before, and we have a 2-page document that document what our visit were. This is all the information we want to share with you. I want to refine it, and we probably will attach all that information for our meeting in September. Like David said, what we want to do results. The stuff that we see that needs to be addressed, we want to memorialize them into a document that we'll share with them, and then we're going to try to keep them accountable.
Yeah, but one thing I
Product.
want to add also, one thing I want to add also is that that trip the Saturday before the commissioner came was basically to develop a baseline of, you know,
Right.
the needs of the parks, you know what I mean? And, you know, again, over time, we could look back at what we did on that Saturday and what has been done since then to see if any, you know, there are any improvements. So, you know, again, you know, I think it's something we should do on a regular basis, you know, at least, you know, for at least once every fiscal
I
year.
definitely
We
agree. At
visit
least,
all the parks
at least every 2 years.
right,
Oh,
you know, visit all the
once a
parks,
year.
see what, you know,
Mhm.
what
Because
what
anytime-
has changed or what has not changed.
Okay. I think he said
Mhm.
anytime we're ready to go to school, we could always let him know in advance, okay, and then we could go and do it over again and cover the parts we didn't cover. So I know of the council person has allocated, she told me some money for a lot more stuff for Wingate Park. But I want them to address some of the other parts that's here that needs help. Especially Mark and Jason. Mark and Jason is in pretty bad shape. And one of the things we notice is that especially the park the parks and playground that is next to schools, there are sections that the Board of Ed is responsible for, and the parks are responsible for. And there seems to be a disconnect between those two
Right.
agencies. And that was not a good thing to see. How can they collaborate a little further to keep those parks and those spaces very accessible and usable for the community? Okay. Are there any questions? Anybody want to chime in about that?
I want to chime in that I've been on this committee for 5 years, maybe 5 years. And this is the most work I've heard about people actually going to parks, actually looking at parks, actually getting somebody to work on it. I commend you wholeheartedly, more than you can imagine. It is just been so frustrating that people would say they were going to do it, nothing would happen, and they wished each other the best. So this was a very heavy lift. Anybody who doesn't know this, I'm just telling you what these gentlemen have accomplished was a very heavy lift. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay. Any question about parks and community gardens?
Sorry,
No,
I
that-
just want to chime in and say that I asked Bill, who couldn't make it today because he's doing summer camp training, about the bees. And we've apparently always had the bees, and he said we could put you guys in touch with also the Bee Conservancy.
Oh, okay, please. Give me whatever information you have. So this is something
Yeah,
we
so-
probably would like to work with.
Anyone email me. Like I said,
Okay, yes, I will send you an
Bees.
email.
I just texted him.
Okay, so,
Did you,
now, but, go ahead.
no, I'm just moving us along. Prospect Park
Oh,
Yeah,
Alliance.
Pastor Park Alliance. We got
wait,
Courtney.
I wanted to make a comment. I have my hand
Go
up.
ahead, Ms. Whisperdoff.
Hi. Yeah, I heard you mention Mark and Jason Park Playground. That's where I've
Mhm.
been hoping to have the fair for like 2 years now. So I'm glad that you visited that and saw what was happening there. And I'm hopeful that we could do an event in some of the other parks deeper into our district instead of on the edge, so we could be more inclusive with future gatherings involving the community board and reach the community more directly. And the park on Washington, I know you've had your finger on that, and I'm really happy you're visiting all these parks, the smaller ones, not just the glamorous ones, and making some connections there. And remember the tree we've talked about on my block, the tree situation, Nicole. I didn't hear back from you about that. I've sent you.
Well, I just got a response to the inquiry that I made. I didn't get a chance to share it with you. So I'll, if you allow me to answer, I reached out to Ms. Mormon. He said the department that deal with that is their forestry department. She said she was going to contact them since we already have 311. So that's the information I got regarding I email. Actually, if you check your email chain, because I just forward your email to her. So you should be able to see that in the email chain that you included. So I thought you would have seen that. So
Nicholas
I
and
will,
Tara, excuse me, can you back up because I don't know what you're talking about.
oh no, what are we talking about is that there's a tree that fell on Sullivan Place.
There's
And, you know,
there's a group of trees on Sullivan
It's a
and
group-
Stoddard that have
they
been
all
that have
fell?
had that have had branches that are like widowmaker dead branches in the upper echelons, and they've been falling repeatedly over many months, and they've smashed car windows. A recent one fell over a windy weekend 2 weeks ago, maybe three. And the neighbors there were more than 11 complaints when I sent a note to Nicola, CB9, Crystal, Hudson in March, and that because my neighbors drew my attention to this issue. And then in the meantime, this other huge branch fell and almost hit somebody, and the police came and put up crime tape, yellow crime tape, and it's right next to the Full Gospel Church as well, where everybody lines up for the food. So that whole sidewalk is blocked off. The people can't come out their front door because of the police tape. It's been there for over, I guess, 3-4 weeks. Now it's sometimes gone by, and I wrote again to everybody, and they were, I guess the parks had told, it's Marcia is the woman's name, they would come in 3 or 4 days, and it's been 2 weeks now. It's a pretty bad situation. You can see the branches, the dead branches, and they have big trees and more than one tree up there, and they need to be trimmed and taken care of. I mean, it's just like a situation of life here. I mean, so that's what happened. So that I'm concerned about, and I've been bringing it up more. And Nicholas said he could help me, and he didn't realize I'd already sent him a message in March. So I resent it, and he said he had connections, and I really was hoping something would happen, but they haven't come yet. I checked today.
The information is that she has referred to the forestry department that deal with that, and she's awaiting a response. So at least I got a response from her, and she took some action because they said it's not really her job. Priority is to make sure the parks are clean and some of the other stuff. So she referred me to the forestry department because I wish I had noticed when we were speaking to the commissioner. I'm sure he would have been able to do that. Absent of that, if I don't hear anything from them from now, I'm going to reach out to the chief of staff of the board commissioner for the same situation and see what we can get from there. The city moved pretty slow. It's all that bureaucracy we have to deal with. So
Well, we don't want somebody
like
to
what I
die in the
explained to
meantime.
you, what he explained to us, because I mentioned to that, if a tree fell, they want to make sure that the street is clean, the sidewalk is clean, it's not a hazard. When it's not a hazard, they put it on a schedule. And because we had asked that question, also we asked him about the trimming of the trees. He said they have so many trees that they have to do within the city. And there's a 7-year schedule. So every tree, they try to get to every tree every 7 years, unless there's an emergency. So, but what can be done in such situation, he explained to me, and I think I said that to you. If let's say the tree is in front of your house, you yourself can contract a private arborist that would come trim the tree the way it's supposed to be trimmed. And that person will charge you. And what you to do with that bill, you go to the controller office and put in a claim to get your money back.
Yeah, I don't think my neighbors want to put in, invest hundreds of dollars to take a tree down that they may or may not get
I
paid
know.
back for. It's
I know
like
that's a
four,
big ask.
it's
Most people
not,
can
yeah,
do it.
yeah, I remember that suggestion and I did mention it, and it was like, you know, I don't think that people trust the government that much to have to go through that hassle of paying and then collecting, and you're not really supposed to cut trees. I don't know, but you know, it's a problem, and I'm looking for help from my neighbors, and have been for some months.
For the arborist to do it. It's not you're going to do it by yourself, but the fact is you're going to get charged for it. So
Yeah, I wouldn't, I personally wouldn't do that. I'd wait for the city to come. That's, you know, we're planting trees. We have to have something to deal with them, right? We want to plant more trees. People have to take
right,
care
and
of them.
actually there's a tree planting program, which I think what I want to do next time is to have the Parks Department come and do a presentation about that. There's a plan to plant quite a lot of trees coming up. So we'll see what happens with that. So,
Yeah, I went to that presentation at the Botanic Gardens about the trees. It's quite interesting. And I'm for it, but I'm also seeing what's happening in my neighborhood now with trees that are aging and they're not being cared for, and people are endangered.
well, from what he's telling me, because I want to cut this conversation on to move on.
Okay, thank
is
you,
that
Nicole.
taking care of the trees is every 7 years. It's a long process. That's what we learned. So okay, let's move on to the next. No, I wanted to say one thing about the small parks. And one of the things that was of interest to us was the Ramsey Triangle. That's
Right.
at the corner, right in front of the Western Beef. I think we need to mention that. We found out that particular plaza is not under the jurisdiction of the Parks Department. It's under the jurisdiction of the Department of Transportation. I was at the Department of Transportation meeting last night, and I brought up the subject, and because they had a representative from there, she promised to look into that, because we said, all we ended up, to use your word, Teresa, is a concrete slab with just a few trees. There are no benches, there are nothing at all set up there. We wanted to know what's happening with that. And she promised she will get back to us. Hopefully when we come back in September, we'll have more information at also the Ramsey Memorial Triangle. So the park we did not visit was Ronald McNair Park. We didn't go to Wingate. And also there's the park on Clarkson Avenue in New York, which is a playground, not a park, a playground. That was one of those three we didn't see. So hopefully next time we get to see the rest of them. But I'm not really too much concerned about Ringbeck Park, because Zellner Meyer and some of the elected like that park, they do a lot of activity. And there, I would love to start another initiative to have activities in the different parks. Hopefully we could do that next year. Because when we call that next year, I want us to do a calendar of activity. I've approached a couple of organizations to come and do art and cultural performance. One of the things I plan to do, I think this is the time to introduce it. to do also a subcommittee or a task force on other cultural activity that would cover visual arts, music, and performance art and sports. So we are not able to do that this year. So hopefully when we come in September, we'll get a bigger committee so we could set up a section that deal with that area. Because there's a lot of artistic activity in the neighborhood and in the area, and I think we should be involved in there. Okay?
Oh, yes, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Prospect Park Alliance, Courtney Loisel was not able to join us today. And I just got an email about a hearing that's coming up for the veil restoration. That's coming up next week.
Wait a minute, say that again slowly.
There is a scheduled public hearing for the veil restoration coming up next week.
And where is it?
Let me look it up and give you the information here. So just one moment. Let's go to email. Unfortunately, I cannot share my screen yet. I'm still working on it.
Who's running the hearing? Prospect Park Alliance?
Prospect Park Alliance. I'll give you my information. Let me get that email there right now. Okay, Prospect Vale, June 20th, 23. Public Design Commission.
Wait a minute, I'm
hearing.
sorry, June 20th or 23?
I'll repeat for you. June 20th, 2022.
Oh, I see.
Public Design Commission hearing for Prospect Park Vale. So there will be a presentation, and it will be at City Hall, 3rd floor
Ah,
in Manhattan. And also, it's probably going to be virtual also. People will probably be able to do online. So there's that. And Prospect Park Alliance is requesting again, even though we gave it already, a letter of support.
and we are not.
And we had voted a letter of support before. I don't know why they need that again. So I'm going to have a conversation and say we did this already. So this is probably a new design. because I
Okay,
think
I'm
the
going to
first
explain
design
to you
was
why they want a letter of support.
rejected. Yes, go ahead. Mhm.
The reason why they need another letter of support is because the plan that they proposed was rejected by Public Design Commission because the design was to add things that were not part of the original Olmsted design. One.
Okay.
Two, they're trying to put in a theater in the plaza part of the park. And they want to put a roof so that it will be a stage. The Public Design Commission told them they're not fooled by this roof. There's no roof in the Olmsted design, and they want them to take the roof off.
Oh, okay.
And so this committee voted a letter of support on the original design,
Right.
of which
Oh,
the motion passed before.
yes.
You
Mhm.
sent a letter of support before.
Yes. Mhm.
Wasn't it that there were some other issues with their design? The materials they were using were not appropriate.
They were from IKEA.
Yeah, so it's like, doesn't connect to the original, veil. That was a big issue. So unless they made adjustments, then there's no need to give them another letter of support. If they haven't made any corrections, any updates, any adjustments, to the design previously that was rejected, then why are we going to support it again? I would think.
And I also we are, I think none of us, support, they have to come and present to us again to see what is this new design. That's my position.
Right.
I don't know how everybody feel about it.
I think they,
Is there,
Tara,
is
Tara
there,
has her hand
Since the
up.
design have changed, we want to see what's there. Mhm.
Tara has
It
her
is-
hand up.
yeah, is there in fact a new design? Because I went to that hearing. I think it was a historic session, and there were many reasons, like Julia said, that the new design had a lot of issues, and it was out of context with what was there. And there was a number of people that pointed it out, and they failed to pass it through at that hearing. The Alliance did. So I don't think they've changed anything. I don't think they have any new designs that they're proposing. I would be really interested to know if there was a new design that they're looking to pass through the commission. I'm going to try to go to that meeting if it's not the day my daughter graduates, but please let me know.
Oh,
Um,
it's June 20th. It's
It's
June
June
20th.
20th. It's
Oh,
June
that's
20th
20th,
coming
all
up, but it's not
So-
the
so
Prospect
Nicholas,
Park
we don't have
Alliance
time.
that's doing it, it's the design commission.
But we don't have time to see any other designs. This is our last meeting for this session. For this
That's what
year.
I'm saying. I don't see any vote coming up from us. But
So
what
they're not
I'm
getting,
saying,
yeah, no letter
they
from
didn't
us.
say, they didn't say when they need, that's the question I have. When do they need the letter of support? They have to wait, if they can only wait until September.
They can
how
whistle.
many letters do they need? They got one.
Well, if it's changed, you want to see if we approve of the new changes. Because the hearing is not being done by the Prospect Park Alliance. The hearing is by the Public Design Commission. The Alliance is asking people to attend the meeting. If you want to sign in to come and talk. So if I could forward some of that information to people on email, and then you could register if you want to go and say something.
Thank you. I'll do that. I'm just, want to see what the,
Okay, so I'll speak to the office to see if they could have that information put out so everybody will have access to it. Okay?
yeah, thank you.
All righty. So with that, I think we can move on
Marley,
to the
Marley's up.
Prospect Park Zoo. Marley, what's happening over there? You look like some wonderful thing we're finding at the Prospect Park Zoo.
Hi, everybody. For this summer, we're focusing on doing as many outreach tabling events as we can. We had a great time this past Saturday. Like I was joking with Brenda and Julia, I definitely did get in my steps that day, going between the two events. If you guys have any events that you would like us to come to, we do have the capacity now that I'm there, that we have an extra person for, outreach and all those things. And we have all brand new materials that I created mainly based on feedback from this committee and committee members, which I thank you all so much. And other than that, they're doing camp at Prospect Park Zoo. But if anyone has any other questions, also in the fall, they're really looking to do more tabling, more outreach. They're starting to shift around things. If anyone has any questions. And Lefferts is open, which I think is good because our main entrance is the children's corner, because it's the only accessible entrance to Prospect Park Zoo, and we don't have enough security to keep both entrances open, unfortunately. So we keep the accessible one open, but now that Lefferts is open, hopefully they'll make it easier and more clear where things are. I had a great time on Saturday.
Well, this is the next segue because the next thing is to talk about Saturday. So why don't you tell us your great time? What was it so great? What was good? What was bad? What do we need to do to improve from last Saturday?
You mean for the fair?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm missing one person. I'm missing the Brooklyn Museum. Miss Wood, anything else from us before we move on to that?
No updates.
Naima, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. No updates.
Okay.
For the museum for this.
Sorry, I forgot to include that in the, no, okay, thank you. Mhm. All right, so let's move on into review and analysis of the CB9 fair in June and what's good, what's bad, what can we do to improve, what do you think should be added to it? And
Number one.
well,
can
the
I-
first question I want to ask, is there anybody in this group that stayed for the youth department section for the movie and all that stuff? I had to go out some family obligation, but I couldn't stay for the rest of it. So these are the two all area I want to cover. And I didn't get a chance to go to the youth department meeting last week too, so. So Julia, or anybody else? I just, one more thing, there's somebody that says iPhone. I don't know who that person is. Would that person identify and say something and introduce themselves as we did before? Hello?
I believe that's Julia Briggs.
Oh, that's
Gloria.
Gloria, sorry. Gloria.
Oh, okay, Gloria. Gloria, I would love to hear from you. I think we should inform people about what happened on Saturday. Miss Gloria, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Is she talking and we can't hear? We can't hear.
All right, why?
Unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go. Susan.
Gloria to unmute. Who would like to chime in about the CB college level to be? Hopefully we will have him next year.
Okay, but what happened Saturday is that you came as well as Eric Tomaine, which was a good thing because we want to speak to him anyway.
What happened?
So-
So did Eric tell you something new or what happened?
He didn't really say anything new, but he said he was going to look into it and give us the particulars as to how we can go about getting the vendor's license. Hopefully, he's going to sit in on 1 hour Zoom. He spoke with Eric. I mean, he spoke with Nicholas, and hopefully he's going to sit in on 1 hour meetings and talk to us further about the vendor's license.
Can you help me out spell Eric's last name?
Tomaine, CHOM.
I think it's CHOMAN.
And with another MN, Tomaine.
Okay. Oh, he was here. He came in and spoke before, right?
Yes, he
said-
was one of our presenters this year. Yes, he was.
Okay.
That was when I think you had the Boy Scouts or something doing the paving of the garden at that time. And the young fella, I think his name was Eric as well, but he spoke too.
Okay.
Brenda had invited him to one of our meetings. I don't know if it was I think it was this year, wasn't it, Brenda?
No, I think it was last year that
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
he gave us the information about the 3 community gardens that are in CB9 area.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, now we're back to the recap of the CB9 fair.
Right. I like to hear people's thoughts, ideas of what they think, what it was, what did they think of the event? What can we do to make it better? What should we correct? So we want to do a postmortem of what we saw and how can we improve.
Okay.
Put your hand down, Julia.
No, my hand's up because I want to talk.
So that
I need to be
Go ahead,
recognized.
go ahead.
you
Go
recognize.
ahead, Julia.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
number one. I used to do street fairs for many years on 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. One, we need to tell people, we need to advertise when the event is. Because people who are vendors and people who are agencies have schedules. And so I was just appalled that, you know, CB9 put the registration in the e-blast as if people all over the world are reading our e-blasts. It's a nice thought, but I'm not thinking that's what's going on. So the registration needs to be a separate document that we need to send around to people, and we need to start like 6 months in advance. That anybody who you want to show
I
up,
say a year in advance.
whatever, but
year.
for a year for the date, 6 months for the registration. And since it's free, you know, people will have a choice of where they want to go. And I'm agreeing with Teresa in regard to where the location is, because there's no walking traffic by there, and no one going to the museum is interested in going to a street fair. You know, they're going for one thing. They're not, you're not picking off people to do something addition. And the last thing is, I think we just spent way too much money on tables. There was no reason to have tables if you didn't have the registration. It just looked like money, you know, money given away to somebody else, because you knew you didn't have registration. So why did we have what looked like 110 tables all around that space? It wasn't like somebody was going to wake up in the morning and go, oh gosh, I should be going to a street fair. You know, it just, I'm done.
Okay. Well, we are here collecting as much information so you could better. Anybody, I'd like to hear from other people. Anybody else raise their hand?
Teresa has her hand up.
Okay, I can't see much anything. All right, go ahead, Teresa.
Hi, yeah, I just want to reiterate that it would be great to have it in a location that other than McNair Park. McNair Park is a very glamorous, nice park, but it's on the outer reaches of our district, and it's next to the Botanic Garden, it's next to the museum. There's so much going on up there. I feel like it would be better served for us to spend that money in the central part, or even the southern part of our district, and just so we could expose other people and meet other people within our community. That's who the community board needs to reach out to, is meeting new people, giving people access to these services. So as much fun as it is for me as a board member to go up there, I would rather have it, you know, in the northern part or central park part of our district. I've asked for that before, and I really hope that we'll do it next year. I'm willing to help. So please, let's do that. And the other thing, I know there was some sentiment that I heard in the community board meeting about the Jewish contingent of our community not being able to participate. And I know that Nicola and I had talked about this fair 2 years ago, and he had brought up, it was his idea to have it for 2 days, and then I guess it got brought down to 1. So, I mean, the children's thing that was later with the DJ, maybe that should be 2 different like celebrations, and we could do more of a kid education thing, park thing on one day, and then another day have more of the agencies come, and you know, with it, have one be a little more serious and one be a little more like fun with bouncy houses and everything, you know, just to to spread that money out and accommodate as many different people as possible. So that's just my hope. And I wanted to share that. And I felt that it was quite a bit underattended and there were a lot of empty tables. And I don't know how the kids thing went, probably not as well as she anticipated, because I think that it was so cold, unfortunately. And I'm wondering what movie actually showed. I was trying to find that out, but I was too cold to go up there, honestly. So I'm sorry for that. And I hope somebody did. Okay, thank you, everyone.
David has his hand up.
Hello? Yeah, I wasn't at this last fair this past Saturday, but I was at the fair last year, all right? You know, for some reason, I think the park is, one, limited, and two, you know, there was so many things happening on Saturday the 3rd. You know, I think we competing against ourselves, because there was so many. If you look at the e-blast that the community board sent out on Friday, there was so many activities happening on the 3rd. So, you know, if we have enough fair on a day that there's so many different activities, then we starting off behind the 8 ball, right? 2 suggestions, right? One is that everybody who comes to present to us from September going forward, we need to ask them to come to our fair in June. Once we know the date of that fair, we could send information out to them and see if we get a commitment from them. You know, it's one thing, you know, telling them about our fair and stuff like that. But I think, you know, we have to be a little bit more gung-ho in attracting these, you know, presenters or people who could use the tables at the fairs. You know what I mean? That's one. 2, we need to advertise the fairs. You know what I mean? Me personally, I think we should have the fair on the block in front of the community board office on Nostrand Avenue between President and Carroll Street. You know, I think we should just line up both sides of the street, see if we can block the traffic for 3-4 hours or whatever, have tables on either side of the street, you know what I mean? Giving out information and stuff like that. Advertise the fair, you know, for like a couple of weeks in advance, you know, print flyers, and we could have it going around to different neighborhoods, put it in all the different parks in the community board, you know, the schools in the area. We need to just go out and flood the neighborhood with these kinds of, you know, flyers to advertise the fair. If we want people to come, we have to put it out there. You know, we can't, as Julia was saying, and I tend to agree, can't put it only in the e-blast. You know, we had to do some footwork. We had to go out there, you know what I mean? Go to the different schools, put it, you know what I mean? Put it out there. Have flyers in the schools, in the different parks, stick up flyers, you know what I mean? All over the place, in the bodegas, in the neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Let people know, well, look, we have a community board and we have enough fair. The fair have so many things that the community can benefit from. We got to sell it. You know, I don't think we're doing a good job at selling our fair. That's it.
Teresa, do you have another comment? Your hand's still up. Thank you.
Oh no, sorry. I put it down. I think all those ideas are great.
Nicholas, do you want to move on?
Muted.
Oh.
Before moving on, I'm very conscious of the time because I just want to keep you guys too long. We are my suggestion has been to have the fair the weekend after Memorial Weekend as a set date. So we know from get-go, from now, this is the date. And this is what has happened for this fair and the last fair. one of the suggestions that I made, as a matter of fact, I think at one of the executive board meeting, I made a motion that a subcommittee for the fair should be instituted. And then there was an amendment to the motion that that committee should start from September. And that committee should be comprised of all the chairpersons of the committee within the community board that would meet once or twice. I mean, that would meet on a certain schedule to prepare for the fair. And I'm glad we're doing this exercise because we're going to take all these suggestions to bring. One of the things I want to say, there was one thing missing in this fair this year. There's some people that was in this fair last year that didn't come up this year. We didn't have the health portion of this fair at all. We didn't have the hospital. Concept of that fair, not only to have all the city agency and as many CBOs as we can, but it is also supposed to be a health fair. And I know last year we're trying to get the mammogram truck. It was too late by the time we're doing, but we're supposed to be a health fair. And I'm even thinking we should also make it a crafts fair if we have crafts people that want to come and sell things. Last year we have food vending. We didn't have it this year because there were quite a few restaurants in the area that would have loved to come and bring some of the stuff. But like I said, it's a good thing they didn't come. We didn't have that many people coming. If we do all that work, and I think what should also be done, I think the community board needs a public relation apparatus. Find a way to get the information, not only through the internet, but all whatever means, the newspapers, the flyers, and all the stuff like David did. And I think I will propose it again at the next executive committee meeting. So I will put my motion back so we'll have that. So that way we will have a fair that would really reach as many people as possible within the community. Because we didn't see that many seniors in there. 1 or 2 seniors passed by. So there's a lot of, and I think it's better than nothing. And all I can do, we have to go in and perform there. There's one part of that I was hoping to do is to have a lot of visual artists. I wanted to reproduce a little bit of the Fulton art fair that's coming up. I think this week they're going to be the next 3 weekends. To use the fence around the park to have many artists display their sculptures, their painting, and so on and so on. I think we only had 1 person showing this time. I think last year we had 2. So this is all the stuff we have to work on for the whole year until to do that. And I think a discussion about the date and the location is quite apropos, and I welcome any other suggestion.
You have Jay and Marley, hands up.
All right, so let's hear from Jay. Well, go ahead, Jay.
Hello, Nicholas. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I had a suggestion for the fair. This was sort of playing off a suggestion that Suki had made in a prior meeting. There's a ball field in the southeast part of the district called the Old Boys and Girls High School Field, and it's for frame of reference. It's surrounded by like cement walls that are like 15 feet high, so you can't really see in it. But inside it, it's got like track fields, tennis, and people use it from the community. But it's not generally open to the public. So
it belongs to the Board of Ed. It's very hard to get to it.
Exactly.
When I made the original suggestion, I wanted it to be alternate between Ronald McTair and that particular field. So that was my original suggestion because I don't think it should have been one side. But definitely this was something that was entertained. Hopefully this is something we could look into to see if it could happen because that part of the district too is very neglected.
Right. So what my suggestion is go along what you're saying. We're having it in the 2 different neighborhoods because the district has different neighborhoods. So if the southeast part can have, like what you said, maybe a separate fair over there. But in the immediate turn, if maybe there could be a contact with whoever it is at the Department of Education, who could like whoever that person is who could approve this. Like I don't know if Dante could contact as a service request and see who's that person who decides how to rent it out. Because currently it is being rented out like to different events.
Correct.
I just don't know who the contact person is. And what I think may be a good idea is there's a lot of issues going on in the southeast part. You can combine like an event, a park event, if you get like some stuff for the kids, like some, bounce tents or stuff like that. And you could also handle a lot of the different issues that are coming out, because there's a tremendous amount of issues with the Vital Brooklyn that people don't know about and people want to hear about. So you can combine like almost like a town hall / fair. If you can get use of that, there's a tremendous amount of people, I think, in that part of the district that would come out to hear the issues of the day and to have fun on a certain day. And you could even, you could do it, you could pick a day that's maybe appropriate. I don't know if, I know Tara mentioned that there was an issue where Orthodox Jews on Saturday can't attend. So what you could do is you could have it on a Sunday at a certain portion that wouldn't maybe conflict with church time. I'm not sure when church time ends. I don't know if it ends at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, but you can have something, let's say on a Sunday at a certain time or during the week, and then you could have a town hall meeting and discuss all the issues. And, you give out free food and you advertise it, there'll be a tremendous amount of people that will come by. Thanks.
That's a good idea. I mean, I truly endorse the idea. Oh, we did want one person giving out free fresh fruit at that fair. So all this can be combined together. So thank you for the suggestion. This is something I wholeheartedly endorse, to move it from one side of the district to the other. So so all this information, since this is recorded, so everybody's be able to see what we're talking about.
And just to add on, I'm looking for that to be not necessarily a fair next year, but for there to be an event in the next few months, like let's say in September. So I'll email Dante also.
But this, one other thing I want to add, whenever we have the fair, this is also an opportunity for any groups, advocacy group, to come and get a table to present the particular issues to the people coming in.
Right.
Okay? So
Right.
this is what to use it for. Okay? All right, I think Marley is next. Oh, you put your hand there. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I would just want to echo. I didn't grow up that Orthodox, but we like never spent money on Saturday. I'm Jewish, so I'm saying if you wanted to, like you were saying, next year maybe sell things and have a health fair, that perhaps maybe a Sunday would be better, especially for CB9, because I know the district is split. I mean, just maybe for more people to attend. Because I know also on Saturday, a lot of people, go to synagogue and then their friends' houses, and, they're not really as much walking around going, even seeing anything. Sorry, that's just my.
No, I think it's a good idea. I want to tell you when I wanted to see one of those fairs, I would like to see a klezmer band. That's how much I want to see. Klezmer band at one of our fair playing music.
I know. I thought I was going to see the Jonas Brothers. I asked my supervisor. I was like, I had to leave early. I thought there was going to be a good bit.
Well, hopefully we could get that part. One of the things also I wanted to use that event also is to recognize people who's been in the community for a long time, or people who have left community and did well on the world and get recognized. But I don't think there's a few people who are not open to that yet. So this is something we got to work into, because we have a lot of people within this community that are well known internationally that we can recognize. And also this is a chance to recognize people who've been doing work within the community board and get the mayor, the board president, the elected to give them proclamations. And I think this is an event we could probably to do that. So we keep working on it. Where are we with, let's see, what's next on the agenda?
Initiatives for next year.
Okay,
Well, no, you have committee residence appointments. What does that mean?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's, yes. As we're winding up, okay, with 5 minutes. The committee technically dies, or that's not a good word, ends as of this meeting. So anybody who's a residential committee member, I'd like for you to let me know if you're interested to get reappointed. and rejoin the committee. So I wanted to put that out. We will get some of the people that are board members that will be assigned according to the bylaws of the committee, but I would love to see if everybody can come back. So that's what I was saying. So if you are so interested in remaining a committee resident member, please let me know. I do have the power to appoint as many people as I can to join. That's the little power that I have.
All right.
Thank you, David. My opinion exactly. What did we do
So
wrong?
listen, right. I wouldn't mind coming back, you know, I mean, as a committee resident member, but okay, Nick. Okay, Nick.
So I'm making the plea because this has been a very good working group, and I love this group. And we've been doing quite a lot of work. As Julia said, that hasn't been done for what, decades? For this committee?
Yeah.
Not that old,
Yeah.
but I think at least
No,
4 or 5 years.
Okay, so I would count on you guys to come and rejoin. So if you're interested, just let me know. All of you have my email. Let me know. If you don't get reappointed by the executive board, I'll reappoint you. All right.
So you have 5 minutes and you have initiatives for the next fiscal year. I think you're going to have to do
Well,
that
my
offline.
first initiative is to create a task force or group to deal, and I think I mentioned it before, a group of people that will look into doing the stuff in the arts and music and sport in the community. So if you know anybody who's interested in that area, please let me know. Let them join the committee. One of the things is to have concert, poetry slam presentation throughout next summer. I don't know if we could do it this summer in each and every parks and playground in the community board. So I would probably, what I would like by the time we meet the second meeting next September, November, we'll have a calendar and a list of activity for the whole year. That's what I want to talk about. So I want to get just a core group that would work on that. So that was the couple of initiatives. I had approached one group that does a lot of concert within, they say they've done concert in the community garden in some of the places. Those are the kind of things we're trying to do. These are some of the initiatives. And also trying to complete what we started with the school and the community garden. And also to approach and see what we can do for the Ramsey Triangle to see if we could connect the school across the street from that triangle to get involved. So because I don't know what, let's find out what DOT plan is for that particular concrete slab. I was thinking maybe some, Teresa bought it yesterday at the transportation meeting, that that people leaving the Western Beef parking lot and they turning right, they could end up right on that plaza. I would love to see planters all around, heavy planters.
Yes.
All around to provide that
Yes.
transmission line. So these are some of the initiatives I'm thinking about. So I just wanted to put some of that out. If you guys can think of anything else we should do, this is not the time. What other activities you think we should plan for next year?
If anyone would like to come to Prospect Park Zoo, please let me know. I would love to have a field trip. I really have enjoyed getting to know you all, and I would love to see you guys ASAP. So let me know.
Well, let's plan a field trip for the committee.
Well, it has to be Monday through Friday and during work hours, right?
I mean, you let me know. I'll make it happen.
And we do it on weekends?
Isn't the zoo open on weekends?
Yes. And
Okay.
I can make that, I can flex my
But
hours.
she doesn't work weekends. Now we have to make her
I was
work
there
extra.
on Saturday.
I know, dear.
Already
But
we
I'm trying to
you
make sure you
guys.
don't, I'm trying to make sure that we don't overwork you.
No, I would love for
some
you guys to
holidays,
come.
maybe a holiday, national holidays or something like that. Let's think of a day.
Does the zoo have a event for Juneteenth?
No, but Lefferts, so we're right next to Lefferts. So we're trying not, we're like, we're part of the alliance, kind of, so we're like working with them. So Lefferts House has an event for Juneteenth.
Okay.
And we're right next door, so it would be amazing if you guys went to the event, which is free, from what I believe. I can contact my contacts there, but I believe it's free, and then come enjoy some animals. I mean, Helen's been there. You've enjoyed the animals. You have animals.
Okay. Mhm.
But,
Well,
We could see the bees.
we can see the bee. I'm looking forward to do that.
Right.
I only
Yeah, see the
have one
bees there.
last initiative I would like to do, which I'm going to propose to the executive board. It's a board meeting of all the chair of all the community park recreation and culture board committee heads. That's one of the initiatives. I think we could probably host it in CB9 and have a meeting for all the chairs of the park and recreation committee of all the community board in Brooklyn. That's something I would love to do. So we could share good practices and way to get things done. I know this is recorded. This is go look at the tape if I cover anything. And Julia, I know you're taking good notes. With that,
I know, yeah.
I want to thank everyone for a wonderful year. And I'm so happy the work we are able to do. And we're going to look at the other area, especially in the area of visual arts, to see if we could do a lot more. So I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart to make this job very pleasurable. And I really enjoy the stuff I'm doing. I want to confess, when I was assigned to chair this committee as a result of a sudden change, I was when I first assigned to the committee, I was saying parks and recreation, what is that? Because when I got interested in the board, I was trying to look, I think I was more or less interested in what's happening in terms of ULURP and rezoning and all this stuff, but I'm glad I ended up in this committee. I really enjoy what I'm doing here. Okay. So if everybody, I want to wish everybody a good summer. Please stay in touch. If you have any other ideas, I'm a phone call away and an email away. And I hope to see everybody back here in September. Please, it would be nice if you guys, I appreciate you attending the meeting, but I would encourage people to join the general board meeting, which is usually the fourth Tuesday of the month. This is where everything is finally decided. If we make a motion, we approve the motion. The last people to approve it, the people at the general board meeting. Try your best to look in the glass and join that meeting, okay?
Well, we don't get to vote and we don't get to see and we don't get a chat. And are they going to meet in person?
Our sense is we're probably going to be in person soon. So we'll see. I'm hoping we get there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So with that.
I will make a motion to close the meeting.
Oh, you took it right on my mouth. Somebody put a motion to adjourn. Oh, you guys want to stand at the hour?
Making a motion.
There's Brenda.
adjourn.
She's made a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'm seconding it.
Okay.
Rejected.
All in favor?
Marley has to stay.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Night.
Any exception? That's
Night.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks,
Good night,
You
everybody.
guys have a great summer.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great summer.
Have a great
Okay.
summer.
Marley, we'll see you before the summer's over.
Yes, and Julia, get me these minutes as soon as you can. Appreciate it.
Okay, dear.
The
I
next
will.
executive meeting.
Have a good night, everybody. See
Good
you
night,
soon.
everyone. Good night.